Good morning and welcome to Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV this Friday morning. I'm Ashwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin with the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes afforestation bill through voice vote. Opposition withdraws proposed amendments after government assures accommodating concerns through rules. States to get 42,000 crore rupees to go green. Defence Minister rubbishes report of Chinese incursion in Uttarakhand. As opposition voices concern in Lok Sabha, Manohar Parrikar claims it wasn't Chinese incursion, only transgression. India-Bangladesh to fight terror jointly. Rajnath Singh and his Bangladeshi counterpart amend extradition treaty to facilitate exchange of terrorists and criminals. Public sector bank employees to go on a strike today. Protest against proposed merger of associate banks with the SBI and also banking reforms. Normal banking operations likely to be hit. And Indonesia executes first 4 of 14 drug convicts on death row. Sushma Swaraj says trying to save an Indian who faces execution. Amnesty International condemns execution as deplorable. Well, the big story, the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Bill 2016, which seeks to give more than 40,000 crore rupees to the states for afforestation and set up a mechanism for its implementation, has been passed unanimously by the upper house. Now, several members urged for greater participation of forest dwellers and Gram Sabhas. The government has assured that individual concerns will be taken into account while framing of rules.
Continuing the discussion on the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Bill in the upper house on Thursday, several opposition members expressed their support for the bill but also sought protection for the rights of forest dwellers and Gram Sabhas.
इस पूरी योजना बनाने में स्टेट की अथॉरिटी की एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी को अधिकार दिया गया है और स्टेट की एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी के अंदर केवल 2 जिला परिषद के सदस्यों को शामिल किया गया है. आदिवासियों का कहीं भी उसका उल्लेख नहीं है.
Engendering community participation through innovative steps like this can go a long way in achieving the goal of afforestation laid down in this bill, and the centre must consider replicating this initiative across the country.
ट्राइबल इलाकों में राइट्स ऑफ फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स की रक्षा हो, इंडिविजुअल राइट्स, कम्युनिटी राइट्स की रक्षा हो, फॉरेस्ट एक्ट 2006 की रक्षा हो, 2000 ग्राम सभा की अनुमति के बिना पैसा जंगल आबाद करना कठिन होगा.
While the ruling party defended the bill, some opposition members also sought more funds for the state to ensure afforestation.
कैंपा फंड सही तरीके से खर्च हो, राज्यों को ये पैसा जाए, इसमें किसी प्रकार की देरी ना हो, जिसके कारण हमारे यहाँ पे जो जंगल जमीन के जो अधिकार की जो बात होती है उसकी संरक्षा हो, हमारे वन्य जीवों की सुरक्षा हो, हमारे जंगल बचे.
क्लॉज 3 में राज्यों द्वारा जुटाए गए धन का जो 10% नेशनल फंड में रहने का जो प्रावधान किया गया है उसे घटाकर 2% किया जाए, क्योंकि एफोरेस्टेशन और उससे जुड़े जमीन काम राज्यों सरकारी करते हैं.
The Environment Minister assured the House that the concerns raised by the members will be incorporated in the rules.
सभी सुझावों को पूरी गंभीरता से हम विचार करेंगे. उसके लिए आवश्यक बैठक भी हम नियमों के निर्धारण के पहले करेंगे. Our process is absolutely democratic. आप बिल्कुल निश्चिंत रहिए कि मैं उस सारी प्रक्रिया को करने के अंदर प्रजातांत्रिक प्रक्रियाओं का कहीं उल्लंघन नहीं करूंगा.
The bill is passed.
Following the assurance by the minister, several opposition MPs didn't press for their amendments and the bill was passed unanimously by the upper house. Lok Sabha has already passed the bill. Vishal Dayya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, efforts to hammer out a consensus on the Goods and Services Tax Bill gathered momentum on Thursday for its likely tabling in the Rajya Sabha next week. Now, the government reached out to the opposition parties, even as the Congress described the exercise as constructive and positive. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam held several rounds of talks with leaders of Congress and other parties, including the Samajwadi Party, JDU and CPIM. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, Anand Sharma and Leader of the Opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, participated in the discussions with Jaitley, and there were 2 rounds with the Congress leaders. Media reports said that the government wants to bring consensus on the GST and was ready for talks with any leader, even during the weekend, to hear out and address their concerns on the issue. Now, at the meeting of the Business Advisory Committee of the Upper House last evening, the GST bill was not discussed as it has already earmarked 5 hours for the bill last week. Jaitley also met SP leader Ram Gopal Yadav and CPIM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri and held talks with other leaders as well. Reports suggested that the government is also in touch with AIADMK Chief J. Jayalalitha on the key bill.
We want to introduce it at the earliest. Now, final discussions are going on. I am confident every party will support GST.
We were briefed by the Finance Minister for about 5 minutes on what is the status of the issues under discussion with the Congress Party. On that we had said that the position taken by the state finance ministers that no cap should come in a constitution amendment, because if that at a later date needs to be reviewed, then you have to bring another constitution amendment.
अभी ये कांग्रेस और बीजेपी जो पिंग पोंग खेलता था, ये पिंग पोंग बंद होना चाहिए, जीएसटी बिल पास होना चाहिए. हम लोग जो नॉन कांग्रेस नॉन बीजेपी पार्टीज है, हम लोग बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबल पार्टीज है, हम लोग जीएसटी चाहिए.
And now let's cut directly across to the US, where Hillary Clinton is facing the test of a lifetime as she's now accepting the Democratic White House nomination.
And by the time they left Philadelphia, they had begun to see themselves as one nation. That's what made it possible to stand up to a king. That took courage. They had courage. Our founders embraced the enduring truth that we are stronger together. Now America is once again at a moment of reckoning. Powerful forces are threatening to pull us apart. Bonds of trust and respect are fraying. And just as with our founders, there are no guarantees. It truly is up to us. We have to decide whether we will all work together so we can all rise together. Our country's motto is E pluribus unum. Out of many, we are one. Will we stay true to that motto? Well, we heard Donald Trump's answer last week at his convention. He wants to divide us from the rest of the world and from each other. He's betting that the perils of today's world will blind us to its unlimited promise. He's taken the Republican Party a long way, from morning in America to midnight in America. He wants us to fear the future and fear each other. Well, you know, a great Democratic president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, came up with the perfect rebuke to Trump more than 80 years ago during a much more perilous time. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
All right, so these are the visuals from the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, where Hillary Clinton is speaking. Remember, this convention will close with Hillary accepting the nomination for the president. And she made history by becoming the first female presidential nominee from a major US party. That is one story that we'll keep tracking through the day. Meanwhile, back home, in an effort to control the high prices of drug and medicines, Union Minister Anand Kumar said that the Health Ministry is working to make it mandatory for the doctors to prescribe generic medicines. Now, Kumar was responding to the calling attention motion in Rajya Sabha on Thursday. Here are the details. Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers Ananth Kumar admitted in Rajya Sabha on Thursday that the voluntarily uniform code for pharma marketing practices introduced by the government last year to stop unethical practices was not working well. During a debate on high drug prices, Kumar said that making good quality medicines available at reasonable prices was a high priority area for the centre. According to Kumar, the government is also working on opening 3,000 Jan Aushadhi outlets in the country, which will provide generic medicines at a fraction of the market price.
मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया इसको अनिवार्य करे, इसको मैंडेटरी करे, यानी जेनरिक में लिखने का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन को, ये आग्रह हमने हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर मंत्रालय को किया है। मुझे लगता है हमारे इस प्रयास से हम कामयाब भी होंगे।
The minister was replying to the calling attention motion on high prices of essential medicines due to the absence of pharmaceutical pricing policy called by Samajwadi Party leader Naresh Agarwal. Agarwal urged the government to come out with a strong policy to promote cheap generic medicines and sought jail term for those who exploited the poor in the name of health care.
आज आप हर चीज में जब जेल ला रहे हैं, मैं देख रहा हूँ इधर इनकम टैक्स में भी जेल, जीएसटी में भी जेल, रियल एस्टेट में भी जेल, तो इसमें भी जो लोग मिले हुए हैं उनको जेल भेजने का कोई प्राविधान आप रखेंगे कि नहीं रखेंगे, मैं आपसे इतना पूछता हूं।
When you have not utilized the fund already allocated, how you are going to open these 3,000 stores? And I would like to know, do you have a time frame when you will open up these stores?
Medicines are not only costing the lives, but the defective, low quality medicines are bringing lot of ill health in India, but also it is also bringing bad name to India.
Ananth Kumar also said that savings to consumers on account of revision and price fixing of essential drugs amounted to 4,988 crore rupees in the last 2 years. This is Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. And the issue of Chinese incursion inside the Indian territory in Uttarakhand resonated in Lok Sabha on Thursday. The opposition members termed it a serious matter and demanded immediate steps to check such transgressions. Now, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Ananth Kumar assured the House that securing our borders is paramount.
Has the government considered?
Opposition members in the Lok Sabha on Thursday expressed concern over the recent incursion by the Chinese troops in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. Congress MP Jyotiraditya Scindia raised the issue, urging the government to take immediate steps to counter such actions by China.
9 दिन पहले से ये घटना हुई है, लेकिन सरकार चुप्पी साधी हुई है। ना गृह मंत्री के द्वारा, ना प्रधानमंत्री के द्वारा कोई स्पष्टीकरण इस सदन में, ना इस देश को दी गई है, अध्यक्ष महोदय।
TMC Saugata Roy also called for concrete measures to check such transgressions.
And this instance is not the first instance of transgression by China. The central government should take immediate steps to counter Chinese aggression, transgression in our land.
Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav cautioned the government about the intentions of China.
चीन घात लगाए बैठा है हिंदुस्तान में। चीन धोखेबाज देश है। अगर चीन कमजोर होगा तो चुप बैठेगा और मजबूत होगा तो आपके सामने आ जाएगा।
Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar clarified that the incident in Uttarakhand was that of transgression and not incursion.
There is no incursion, there is only transgression which has been already settled, and we have a well-defined mechanism to settle such transgressions. Annually there are about 400-500 such transgressions. This year, the number of transgressions have reduced.
Contradictory reports of Chinese incursion into Indian territory in Uttarakhand surfaced on Wednesday. It was claimed that PLA troops who entered Chamoli district on the 19th of July pulled back after a face-off with the Indian troops. With Pranav Goswami and Ravindra Singh Shoran, Bureau Inputs, Rajya Sabha TV.
More news from Lok Sabha. Now replying to a short duration discussion on the price rise, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Thursday said that inflation is under control and he expected it to reduce further with good monsoon. Jaitley also criticised the UPA's record on inflation as he responded to Rahul Gandhi's charges on price rise. Jaitley asserted that the present inflation was due to seasonal factors. He also informed the House that the government had taken several steps to control prices of essential commodities. Earlier, during the short discussion, Rahul Gandhi criticised Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the issue of rising prices, saying that Modi talked about everything but price rise.
हमारे समय
मार्केट रेट में और एमएसपी में 30 रुपए का फर्क, और आपके समय एमएसपी में और मार्केट प्राइस में 130 रुपए का फर्क। अब चौकीदार के नाक के नीचे दाल की चोरी हो रही है, मगर चौकीदार ने एक शब्द नहीं कहा। चौकीदार चुप बैठे हुए हैं। खैर छोड़िए, अब आप प्रधानमंत्री बन गए हैं, चौकीदारी क्या करनी है, अब तो आप बड़े आदमी बन गए हैं, चौकीदारी आप हमारे ऊपर छोड़िए।
हम लोगों ने डबल डिजिट इन्फ्लेशन इनहेरिट की थी, उसको नियंत्रण में रखा है। बरसात की जिस दिशा में जा रही है उससे अर्थव्यवस्था का भी लाभ होगा, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आने वाले दिनों में जो नियंत्रित इन्फ्लेशन है और संख्या में अपने आप में कम होगी।
On to some other news. In facing public unrest for the 20th day on Thursday, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti claimed that the police and the army were not aware of Hizbul militant Burhan Wani's presence during the raid at his hideout in South Kashmir on 8th of July. Now, addressing party workers on the 17th raising day of the People's Democratic Party, Mufti said that the state government did not get enough time to make arrangements to contain the situation, as the government was not aware about Wani's presence at the time of encounter. The statement, however, comes immediately after Opposition National Conference said that the Chief Minister was aware of the operation in which Burhan Wani was killed. Earlier, the Additional Director General of Police had confirmed that the Chief Minister was aware of the operation.
देखिए, ये कैसे पता हो सकता है कि आप हर एनकाउंटर के बारे में, जो मेरी मालूमात है, जो मैंने पुलिस से बात की, आर्मी से बात की, उनका ये कहना है कि हमें ये मालूम था 3 मिलिटेंट वहाँ है, पर ये मालूम नहीं था कौन कौन है वहाँ पर। अफजल गुरु को फांसी लगी तो उमर साहब को मालूम था, इसलिए उन्होंने सारे इंतजाम पहले ही किए थे। हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं मालूम था, हमें तो अचानक पता चला। उसके बावजूद भी हमने कोशिश की कि कर्फ्यू लगाया जाए ताकि बच्चे बाहर न आए।
Meanwhile, amid detention and outbreak of violence in Kashmir, the 4-day Director General level talks between the Border Security Force and Pakistan Rangers concluded in Lahore on Thursday. Now, an agreement was reached to effectively check cross-border infiltration to prevent terrorist activities and clamp down on drug smuggling. Both sides also discussed ways to strengthen measures to coordinate border patrolling and address each other's concerns in a time-bound manner. The two sides also decided to improve communication channels to resolve disputes on the intelligence bureau running through Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Now, the next round of biannual talks will be held in India.
We decided to strengthen the mechanism to ensure security of the border from the point of view of infiltration, terrorism, narcotic smuggling.
In Breakfast News, time to take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
As long as the Krida is sustainable, our country's food security is sustainable. If flood comes, drought comes, any eventuality happens, everybody has something in their hand. But farming community is the most suffering. Seeing the farmers, experiences with the poor farmers, villages, then made me to attempt to give best out of this rain-fed agriculture, best out to the country in the whole.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Cherukumalli Srinivasa Rao, Director, Krida, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. Now, bank employees have called for a nationwide day-long strike today to protest against the proposed merger of associate banks with SBI and also the banking reforms announced by the government. The United Forum of Banks Unions and Officers Unions representing 8 lakh staffers will participate in the strike. Now, bank unions are opposed to the central government's move towards FDI in the banking sector and also the mergers of public sector banks and mergers of State Bank of India and its associate lenders. The union are also protesting against the privatization of regional rural banks and cooperative banks. Weather update: and floods caused by incessant rainfall continue to spell destruction in various parts of the country. The death toll in Assam rose to at least 13 due to floods. Now, Met Department has predicted more rainfall over northeastern, northern and central region in the next few days.
Heavy rains continue to lash several parts of India, triggering flash floods in some areas. The situation in Bihar continued to remain grim, with flooding in many parts of the state. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar conducted an aerial survey of the affected districts of Gopalganj, East Champaran, West Champaran and Muzaffarpur. He also ordered relief work in the affected areas. In addition to the rainfall, the water discharged by Nepal into the Gandak River is compounding the problem.
बहुत यहाँ का लोग कठिनाई से रह रहा है। अब पानी इतना तेजी में चल रहा है, सब डूब जाएगा। 1 घंटा के अंदर में डूब जाएगा, इतना पानी इसमें आता है।
In Haryana's Yamunanagar district, 8 people who were stranded at Mandewal village were airlifted. They were trapped after the sudden rise in the Yamuna River.
कंट्रोल रूम में 1:30 बजे मैसेज आया था कि कुछ लोग टापू में फंस गए हैं। ये मैं आपके माध्यम से हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट का और आर्मी अथॉरिटीज़ का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा कि 7-8 लोगों की जान बचाई।
The rise in the water level of the Brahmaputra has also made the condition of Assam critical. 16 lakh people were affected in 19 districts, while the death toll rose to 13. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has directed its ministers to help relief operations in their constituencies. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And India and Bangladesh on Thursday signed an agreement on the bilateral extradition treaty between the two countries. Both the countries agreed to enhance cooperation on anti-terror efforts, with the Dhaka saying that New Delhi will be side by side with it in fighting terrorists. A pact was signed in the presence of Home Minister Rajnath Singh and his Bangladeshi counterpart Asadus Khan Kamal. The two ministers also decided to increase cooperation in issues including military and narcotics, among others. Earlier in the day, Bangladesh Home Minister called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and discussed bilateral issues, including the current situation in Bangladesh. Asadusman Khan is on a 4-day visit to India.
आपस में समझौता बहुत अच्छा से हम लोग आगे ले जाकर के किस तरह से काम करना है, सारा विषय पर चर्चा हुआ और बहुत अच्छा हुआ। कोई भी आतंकवाद का मुद्दा को हम लोग मिलकर के लड़ेंगे, ये इसमें भी चर्चा हुआ।
फाइट अगेंस्ट टेररिज्म আমাদের সঙ্গে ইন্ডিয়া সাইড বাই সাইড থাকবে, সেটাই সম্বন্ধে ডিসকাশন হয়েছে। আমাদের বর্ডার ইস্যু আমরা বললাম, বর্ডার ইস্যু সম্বন্ধে ডিসকাশন হয়েছে। আমাদের নারকোটিক্স সম্বন্ধে ডিসকাশন হয়েছে।
And India says it is making last-ditch effort to save its national from being executed in Indonesia. Now, Gurdeep Singh is among 14 people who faced death sentence over charges of drug smuggling. Earlier on Thursday, Indonesia executed 4 of them, leaving the fate of 10 others uncertain. Indonesia has some of the world's toughest drug laws and has faced intense criticism internationally for resuming executions. Ambulances carrying out coffins from an island in central Java. This after Indonesia executed 4 drug traffickers. 1 Indonesian and 3 Nigerians were killed by firing squad shortly after midnight. There are 10 more drug convicts on death row whose fate is unclear, among them an Indian. India is making last-ditch effort to save 48-year-old Gurdeep Singh.
Even as we speak, our embassy officials, consular officials are camping in Silakap and have met Shri Gurdeep Singh. We have reached out to the Foreign Office. We are trying to reach out to the senior leadership of Indonesia. We are also in constant touch with his wife and brother in India and keeping them informed of the current situation.
Singh was arrested from the Jakarta International Airport in 2004 after he was found in possession of 300 grams of heroin. India approached the Indonesian government to facilitate filing of a mercy plea before their president. It has also issued a note verbal and unsigned diplomatic communication to the Indonesian Foreign Ministry saying all legal recourse should be exhausted before the death penalty is carried out. Amnesty International joined United Nations and other world agencies in condemning the executions as a deplorable act that violated local and international law.
ਇੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਵੀ ਕੱਟੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਘਰੇ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਇਹੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਕਮ ਸੇ ਕਮ ਛੋਟੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਡੈਡੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ।
Indonesian President Joko Widodo vowed to take a hard line against drug trafficking when he was elected in 2014, saying he would not compromise over death sentences to convicted drug dealers. Earlier, Australia withdrew its ambassador from Indonesia for 5 weeks in protest at the execution of 2 of its nationals last year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And the suspense over wrestler Narsingh Yadav's Olympic participation was prolonged after the National Anti-Doping Agency or NADA deferred its verdict on the doping hearing to Saturday or Monday. The wrestler's hopes of representing India at the Rio Games are fading by the minute. While he is still pleading innocence and is hoping for a reprieve from NADA, his lawyers have failed to give proof to substantiate their theory of sabotage. Well, a day after Narsingh and his lawyers presented their case on the failed dope test on Thursday, NADA's legal team gave its arguments against the sabotage theory before the disciplinary committee. The wrestler, who has alleged the involvement of fellow grapplers in the conspiracy, has already been replaced by Praveen Rana in the Olympic squad, but will be reinstated if he gets a favourable verdict from NADA. On a second successive day of chaos at the NADA headquarters, Narsingh Yadav's supporters were present at the venue demanding justice. The wrestler has also filed a police complaint implicating 2 wrestlers. However, his supplements have reportedly found to be clean. An eminent author and social activist, Mahasweta Devi, will be cremated in Kolkata today. 90-year-old Mahasweta Devi passed away in Kolkata after suffering a cardiac arrest following multi-organ failure on Thursday evening. Known for her writings on marginalized communities in the country, she served as a voice of the oppressed. She founded several grassroots-level societies for the welfare of tribals. In her long career as a writer and activist, Devi has received the Sahitya Academy Award, Padma Vibhushan, Gyanpeeth and Magsaysay Award, among several other distinctions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Congress President Sonia Gandhi, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and several other leaders condoled her death. That's all in this edition of news. Thanks for watching.